Hi, I'm Joel Lebov of Ultraview, and I'm the product manager for this product, the EM-Gammalert, which can detect ionizing radiation as well as high levels of radio frequency and microwave radiation. We'll start by, what do you do when you get the unit and take it out of the box? Well, chances are it's not going to be charged, so it's going to be dead looking like this. So we're going to hook up the USB cable that came with it, plugging in the USB connector on one side. Then we're going to plug it into anything, a wall cube or a PC that has a USB A slot like this. And I'm going to plug this in. And you see, as soon as I plug it in, this thing starts flashing. For a second, you'll get red and green flashes. Then you'll see two lights. The left one is a CHG light, which means it's charging. The right one just means it's plugged into a power source, either USB or other. Eventually, this is going to charge. It's going to take about 2 or 3 hours. The best thing is just let it charge. And then this will go off. And we'll go now to a unit that's already charged, and I'll show you how to use it. So here's a unit. Once it's charged, you're going to see a green light flashing. It might be flashing 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times. 1 time means it's off, like middle LED. There's 2 switches on it, a mode switch and a reset switch that resets the LEDs or silences them in some cases. Okay, so this is off. If I press this, it goes to 2 flashes. If I press it again, it goes to 3 flashes. If I press it again, it goes to 4 flashes. If I press it again, it goes to 5 flashes. And if I press it again, it goes back to off. So we're going to discuss each mode. The simplest mode is mode 2, which is 2 flashes. That's called airplane mode. That mode detects both ionizing radiation and, to a limited extent, electromagnetic radiation. It detects both of them with equal balance. So it's sensitive to both, but not optimal for either one. This is a very good mode for operating in a plane. It makes no beeps when an event, such as an ionizing radiation or electromagnetic radiation burst is seen. But you can have it on the whole flight. It's silent, doesn't do anything. The third mode, besides off and airplane, is ground mode. Ground mode is just like airplane, except when it sees an ionizing radiation event or an electromagnetic event, it makes a beep. If it's an event that's not harmful, it'll just beep and show a green light. This green LED here will light up if there's a ionizing radiation event, such as a cosmic ray, which are harmless. They're bathing us all the time. But if there's a large amount of radiation, this will beep and it'll go in red, and it'll stay red until you reset it with this switch right here. Similarly, if the unit detects an electromagnetic burst, a microwave burst, or a radio frequency burst, if you do either of those, this bottom light will light up. If it's a weak burst, that's like sort of harmless, like being near a transmit tower, it'll just beep in green, beep and light in green. If it's a severe burst, it'll light in red, same as before. It'll stay on. All the time, when it sees any of these events, it also records the energy envelope of that event. In other words, the intensity of that event, just like in a chart recorder or an oscilloscope. And later you'll be able to play back the events by hooking it up to a PC via the USB port. So this is now. So we've seen the ground mode. The next mode is called EM favored mode. This mode is sensitive to both ionizing radiation and, like radioactivity and electromagnetic radiation. But if it sees an electromagnetic burst, such as from a directed energy weapon, like speculated as a potential cause of Havana syndrome, sees that, it switches to a high resolution electromagnetic mode, and it records that electromagnetic event with very good precision, so you can later play it back and show it as evidence that you were targeted by an electromagnetic weapon or RF weapon. So and then later, once that electromagnetic event is gone, it switches back down to looking at both ionizing and electromagnetic radiation. The last mode is 5 flashes. That mode is EM only, electromagnetic only. It just looks for RF. It doesn't have any sensitivity to ionizing radiation. That's very good if a person is already sure that there's a large hazardous radio frequency source or microwave source nearby. This won't waste time making beeps and chirps if it sees cosmic events. It'll just look for electromagnetic events, and it'll look for it at that high resolution that I mentioned before. So those are the basic events that you use the unit in standalone mode. Once, by the way, the last thing is once this middle LED stops flashing, or if it flashes in red, that means it needs to be charged. Once it's in those modes, it won't capture any more events, but it'll retain all the events that have been stored in the onboard flash memory. So in the next segment, next video, we're going to show how to use the software that comes with it. In other words, not just a standalone mode like I'm using right now, but actual software that lets you display events on a computer and also lets you change sensitivities of the instrument to control the instrument. So if you tune to the next video, we'll start with those subjects. Thank you.